People. Que pasa, sac passe, what they do. Now the first thing that is popping in the news is an update about an incident that I spoke about a couple of days ago. An incident that occurred on the highway in Clarendon on the 30th, the end of September 2021. However, people, in that incident I told you that there was an ambulance coming from Lioneltown Hospital and was headed to Mandeville Hospital. In that ambulance there were 4 occupants: the driver, a nurse, a porter, and a patient. That patient's name Hazel Beckford. She was 72-year-old. That patient had a couple of medical conditions. She was visually impaired. She also has diabetes. She also has to survive on a breather, meaning oxygen tank, meaning that medical oxygen. However, she was transferred for whatever reason. Now people, en route to the Mandeville Hospital, it is said that the driver got into a bad accident. And people, these are the pictures, these are the videos right here. Take a listen, take a look, and then I'll give my piece. Now people, like I said, the ambulance was en route to Mandeville Hospital from Lioneltown Hospital. 4 people. Some reason the ambulance lick up in our truck that was parked. When we look at the condition of the ambulance and the fact that the roof of the ambulance almost came down on the head of the driver, and the fact that the ambulance was also crumpled up, we would be expecting that somebody would have lost their life. There would have been some sort of serious injuries. However, people, based on the information from the hospital, it is said that these persons were stable. The patient and the driver, they were taken to Maypen Hospital instead of Mandeville Hospital. The nurse and the porter, they end up at Mandeville Hospital, which was the original destination. Obviously, the driver and the passenger, Mrs. Hazel Beckford, 72-year-old with all type of medical condition, they were more seriously injured. Now people, what is very disappointing in this whole incident is that the ambulance crashed into a parked vehicle, a parked truck. When the popo came by, they did not warn the driver of the truck for any sorts of prosecution, so therefore he was not deemed to be responsible. He was not the cause. The cause was because of the driver of the ambulance, which is linked to the medical field, the medical facility in Jamaica. Now people, after that incident, the relevant authority, meaning the spokesperson for the hospital, some top nurse, top doctor, they came out and they said that all 4 persons are doing well. All 4 persons are in stable condition and should have a hasty recovery. However, people, since that incident, the 72-year-old Mrs. Beckford, she has lost her life. Since that incident, the relevant authority and the family have been going back and forth. The family is not getting any sorts of information from the hospital. Whenever they go to one hospital, one office, they are told to go over to the left. When them go to the left, them tell them go over the right, and then they have to go through all type of security measures. However, since the lady lost her life, the family has not seen the body. Since the lady lost her life, the family is disconnected. There is a disconnect as it pertains to the relevant authority and the persons that are supposed to be giving answers. Nobody is saying nothing. The family is lost. The family is stressed out. The family is basically at its wits' ends because it cannot believe what is going on. Now people, like I said, this 72-year-old lady, she was suffering from all sorts of medical condition. Diabetes, she was visually impaired, and also she had breathing problem. Now people, based on the information from the family, based on information that they are getting from the hospital, it is said that since that incident, the lady developed other medical condition. And people, what are some of these medical condition? Condition number 1, she had a broken neck. Condition number 2, she had a broken collarbone. Condition number 3, she was taken to the Maypen Hospital where they claimed that she is in stable condition. She was doing good. She should recover. However, she was stabilized based on medical records at the Maypen Hospital and then transferred elsewhere. Now people, why is the hospital lying? Because they don't want to take blame. They don't want to take responsibility. They don't want to get any sort of lawsuit. So therefore, they would rather to sweep it under the rug. They would rather to blatantly lie to this family who is stressed, who has lost a family member, meaning a grandmother, a mother, great-grandmother, whatever the case is. However, people, it just shows you in Jamaica, there is lack of accountability. There's lack of taking account for whatever you do. There is negligence. There is lack of professionalism. There's lack of sympathy. There's lack of humanity in these government facilities, because people, the truth and the fact is that, why is this? Nobody wants to take the blame because everybody's on a high horse. Everybody acts as if they are holier than thou. They are up here and them can't do nothing wrong. So therefore, whenever something goes wrong, it is a big lie. Everybody is covering up, meaning security, meaning the nurse, meaning the doctors, meaning the regional facility that is in charge of everything in that region. Everybody is covering up. Now people, based on the family, they said that since they learned that she has lost her life, they have not seen the body. Based on the information, it is said that the popo, they are waiting on post-mortem to determine whether there should be some sort of charges against the driver, whoever is held responsible for this accident. And people, obviously we see that this was some sort of negligence. Obviously we see that more than likely the driver was responsible. And people, like I said, that driver was also badly injured. As to the severity of his injuries, I don't really know. However, the sad part about the situation is that this lady lost her life and nobody wants to take any sorts of accountability. Nobody is giving any sorts of answers. And even though these people, the family member, is going through stress and all sorts of emotional trauma, they don't want to make it easy. They are trying to cover up that big lie. They are trying not to get any sorts of lawsuits. So people have to ask the question, who is the head of the health system in Jamaica? Dr. Christopher Tufton. Who is the head of Jamaica? Meaning Andrew Holness. Why isn't anybody saying anything? Why this family has to go through this? Why this is always the case in Jamaica? Nobody wants to take accountability. Nobody wants to be responsible for their action. So therefore, people will lose them family. And then they have to go through all sorts of rigmarole. They cannot get an answer. Not a letter. Not a voice note. No, nothing, none at all. No sorts of communication. Communication lock off. Them just give the people the run around. So people, it only shows you in Jamaica there is really no sorts of justice. Especially if you are poor. Especially if you are not a Matalan or one of the Issas or one of those top people or some sort of politician. You are going to be treated like SHIT, point blank and period. So anyways people, that is my views on the whole thing as it pertains to that. And like me say, it is just my views and opinion. It is not the gospel. Your views and opinion can be respectfully different from mine. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Bless up. Now before I move to the next part of my video, please subscribe to my next channel. It is called Jamaica Dancehall Source, and I'll be pinning the link to that channel in the description of this video. And also please subscribe to this channel, and when you subscribe, please press the notification bell or icon and also press all in the option. Now people, there's a thing in life that is called chicken Mary, heart the near. That means that when you think all is well, all basically end up down a hell. Now people, I am speaking about a youth and he is a biker. This is a video that he took just before he lost his life. Take a listen, take a look. Now people, that is before, after, based on the information, this youth was riding along with some friends, when for whatever reason, allegedly, the claims of person on the scene, that the youth was licked off of the bike by a po-po officer. However people, what is the problem is that the officer did not stop. So the question that we have to ask is this: did these officer or this officer realize that them lick off somebody off a bike, and then that person would have lost his life? Now people, isn't it kind of ironic that the po-po was on some sort of mission to solve some sort of crime, save some sort of life? However, in doing so, the po-po lick off somebody off of his bike. What was even more disturbing, how is it that you're driving and you hit something, you hit an object, speaking about this person on a bike, and you are unaware? Is that even possible? Because people, the truth and the fact is that had this been you and I, and we lick off somebody off our bike, even if we did not realize, more than likely we would have been charged, or we are going to get charged for leaving the scene of a crime and causing any sorts of injury. So people, truth and the fact is that, again, we see people don't want to take accounts. Persons that we put in high esteem that are supposed to serve and protect should have our health and well-being, our life, best interest of our life at hand. People, we see that they are doing the polar opposite. Now people, based on the information that I got, is that this youth is always doing all sorts of stunt riding. This youth is always blazing down the place like a mad bat out of hell. However people, at the end of the day, nobody is supposed to lose their life regardless of how reckless they are. And people, I am not saying that these persons are not nuisance on the road. However, the truth and the fact is that whenever something like this happens, especially if it involves somebody in a law enforcement, some sort of po-po, the least that we would expect is that they stop. The least that we would expect is that they call some sort of ambulance or render some sort of assistance to this person. However people, based on the videos, based on the pictures, this person was left to DEAD on the road like some sort of dog. People, it is very sad. And it only shows once again, persons are not held accountable. Persons are not responsible. Persons are not professional. They are not doing what is a part of their job according to the protocol of their job. And people, I have just given you two instances. One instance with the ambulance and the hospital, and the next instance with the po-po, point blank and period. So anyways people, that is my views on the whole thing as it pertains to that. And like me say, it is just my views and opinion. It is not the gospel. Your views and opinion can be respectfully different from mine. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Bless up.